Hi and welcome to StudioWise, this is Jacko, and today we're looking at RealiDrums, a sample drum library for Kontakt. The library is based around a central kit with swappable elements, meaning you don't need to load up patches or expansion kits to get different sounds. Everything's built right into the core instrument. RealiDrums also feature an innovative MIDI player called the Groove Generator that, with built-in fills, time signature and complexity controls, you have no need to audition through external MIDI files to find patterns you like. The main screen shows the individual controls for each of the drum elements. So all in all, RealiDrums is a complex yet simple instrument to use, taking your focus off the tedious stuff and getting back into writing music. We have a full review on Music Nation right now for an in-depth look at all the features, the pros and cons, and our final thoughts on the software. But right now I just wanted to run through a few of the sounds and the effects and give you a basic overview of it in use. So let's go for each of the sounds, and this is the default set that you get when you load it up. This is kick, snare, side stick, brush, toms, which is cool, tambourine, cowbell, woodblock, and some overhead cymbals, and that's it. Yeah, sounds good. You have down the bottom here some kit presets, and they're just EQ states, right? So rock kit, for instance, same snare and kick. Just a different EQ, different reverb, compression settings. Funk kits. And some kind of crazy ones down here, distortion. Lo-fi. Quite cool and clean. So those kit presets, like I said, are just EQ settings, not totally new samples. What is new samples, however, is each of the elements that you can swap out as you like. So you just click on a part of the graphic here to choose the section you want to work on. So kick, for instance. So the kick, in here you can change which kick you're actually playing. So currently we're on kick 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's 7 total to choose from. Each of them you can change the tuning and EQ, the level, the EQ, compression, distortion, and reverb. The reverb is the Kontakt freebie one built in. So what is really interesting though is that you can change the mic mix, and when they recorded this kick in each of these kicks, they also recorded 4 different mic presets. So there's close mic, room, rock, which is a much wider room sound, and beast, kind of like a parallel compressed kind of sound. So you can pick and choose between them, which is quite cool. So for instance, if you chose kick 3, that has a totally different mic mix here. Quite versatile. So same thing, you go to the snares. What are we going snares with? Right, that's currently snare 3, 4, 5. And there's heaps of them. There's like 40, I think, in here. So there's a lot to choose from. Again, each of them with their own mic mix. So close, room, rock, and beast. So you can imagine there's a lot to choose from, and it's super versatile like that, which is quite cool. So you can actually design up your own kit fairly quickly, you know, which is nice. So what I want to do now is actually do a little bit of comparison between this and another couple of software titles. So it's not to upstage anybody or anything like that. It's more just to give you a bit of a reference, because it's hard to tell, you know, in these videos what it really sounds like, you know. So what I've done here is I've copied this loop here into Reaper. I just need to reset that to snare 3 and kick 1, I think it was. Yeah, there we go. Right, there we go. So that's the default RealiDrums setting. So what I've done here, I've just exported this simple loop into Reaper. So that's now Reaper playing this back. And then also I've loaded up another couple of samples here, sample libraries. So we have Kontakt playing RealiDrums. I have Kontakt playing the Kontakt library drum kit. Then we have EZdrummer, the basic pop rock, the freebie one that you get. And then the expansion library, modern vintage. And I'll just cycle through each of those as this loop. So I'll be quiet now and let's see how they sound. Cool. One thing I forgot to mention, sorry, before I kicked off that, is inside EZdrummer I disabled the reverb and compression mics because they give it a really over-the-top sound. Because you can do the same thing with RealiDrum, add in reverb and compression and so forth to push it. But I thought, no, we'll just use this in a default setting, right? So to be fair, I did the same thing here. So with each of these EZdrummer things, I've just removed the compression mics and the reverb mics. So I'll run through that again. There's probably no real comparison between this and the factory Kontakt library one, but you know, a lot of guys still use it in production. So you know, at least you get a fair kind of reference at least. So we'll just go through this once more. Cool. So there we go. I mean, in my mind, the EZdrummer vintage has a similar kind of style of recording. It's obviously a different kit, totally in a different room, but it's the most similar. I mean, it just shows that RealiDrums is on par, I think, certainly with the Tune Track stuff. For my 5 cents worth, I think RealiDrums to me sounds more realistic to my personal setting here in my studio. Like in our live room, I've got some okay mics and the room sounds fine, and when I record drums I feel I get a similar sound to this. I can certainly get this sound, you know, in my setup, and certainly when I record acoustic guitar and bass and guitar and so forth. It sits well with RealiDrums. I find, as much as I love EZdrummer, this is really hyper real stuff. I mean, this is a very expensive drum kit played in a multi-million-dollar facility with probably a multi-million-dollar mixing desk with the best engineers in the world, and it sounds it's incredible, right? So I'm not putting it down for that, but I will certainly never achieve this in my little studio here. So if that means anything to you, I think it just shows, at least in my circumstances, RealiDrums is something that I could use a lot more and fitting with how I record. So, you know, just a little bit of my opinion on that. But they all sound really nice, and certainly this is on par with everything we're running currently here in Music Nation. So it's very nice stuff. And we haven't even talked about the groove generator. That's going to be in another video. And this this video is just showing you how it sounds, and I think it sounds fine, right? So there's no doubt with that. They've got that covered. I'm thinking the next video is something you're going to watch, because the groove generator side of this is very, very exciting. So thank you once again for watching, and of course shoot over to musicnation.co.nz and you can see my full review and thoughts, pros and cons, what kind of stuff on the software. And please join us in the next video when we look at the groove generator. Cheers, catch you soon.